In this episode, Lee breaks down the system's roadmap that shares a common entry point.
Today I'm going to talk about our FMS curriculum and how it relates to our fundamental philosophies and principles. As most of you know, our fundamental philosophy here at FMS is to move well and then move often. And that's really what we should all be thinking about when we're training the clients and the athletes that we work with on a daily basis. We need to first make sure they can move well. What does that mean? We need to make sure that they're ready to do the things we want them to do. Ultimately, we all want to push our athletes and our clients to a higher level, but are they ready to do that? Is a person ready to do overhead presses or bench press or a squat? Well, so that really comes to the first point and first part of our curriculum, which is FMS Level 1. And what this is designed to do is make sure they're ready to do the things we want them to do. It's not about corrective exercise right now. We have an obligation as professionals to protect the people that we train and work with before we do anything else. So we got to protect them, a lot of times from themselves. We got to make sure that they're not doing certain things. So really, it's about protection. If you score low on a movement pattern, because that's really what the FMS is, looking at fundamental movements, if you score low or have significant limitations or dysfunctions or have pain in certain movements, the first thing we need to do is to protect you from those movements. Avoid those things during training. So that comes to one of our other principles, which is protect, correct, and then develop. So our level 1, our entry point for our curriculum is really about giving you a screen that can help you identify the problems and protect them during training. That's what we want to do. Now the next level, well, that kind of gets us into correction. So we have 3 areas, or really what the FMS should do is give us better decision making. So one, let's think about the priority for the FMS level 1, protect. So we're looking for dysfunctions and we're looking for pain. Well, pain's a big one. And that takes us to our medical assessment, which this course, the Sfma, is designed for more medical professionals. So we dive a lot deeper into movements and how the body works, because the whole point is not to identify just the area of pain, but more specifically identify the dysfunction that could potentially be causing the pain. Just because your shoulder hurts doesn't mean the shoulder's the problem. It could be something else. So the Sfma level 1 is a very specific systematic approach to assessing movement patterns, but it takes it all the way down to the parts. The FMS looks at a big picture, the entire body and how it moves, and it's very high level, if you will. This one gets much more specific, trying to pinpoint the area of dysfunction, but more importantly, the underlying cause or limitation, which may be causing the pain. That's Sfma level 1, focusing again on the assessment and how you do that. Now let's go back up here to level 1. If the person's not in pain, what if there's some significant dysfunctions but there's no pain? Well, now we've got to do our next principle, correct. So we got to correct it. We got to correct the areas that we define. That's all about FMS level 2. Taking the information we get from the FMS, those results, identifying the dysfunctions, and focusing in on exercises that will help us improve those dysfunctions, allowing us to create much better programming for the people we're working with. That's all what we get into with our FMS level 2. So taking you from correction to, again, following back to our principles, to developing you, or developing your performance, trying to improve that. So that's that segue. Now, we also have designed a new course, the FCS, new set of testing and screening that really does allow us to go from correction into development, because what the FCS is designed to do, performance level training, or performance level testing and screening. So now, if you score well on the FMS, so you don't have any significant dysfunctions, you don't have any pain, well, you still need to be provided some other screens and some other tests to fine-tune the programming that we're going to prescribe. I need to know, where do I need to focus? Where is your weakness in your development that we can focus on? And that's what the FCS is designed to do. Better target what I need to do to help the client or athlete I'm working on to do what? Again, back to our principles. Develop. Because ultimately, we all want to train to a higher level. We need to clean up certain things, and then we need to develop you better. And that's where our FCS comes in, giving you those strategies. Now, if we, going back to the Sfma curriculum, we have an Sfma level 2. Where does that come in? Again, just like the FMS and FMS level 2, the Sfma is designed to give you this assessment protocol and system. But we still need to figure out how to treat it and correct it. So Sfma level 2 is about treating and correcting. And you know what? Once we do good treatment, good correction, we get the person moving, you know what we need to do then? Go right back up here to an FMS to figure out, because we still haven't challenged the person, because the Sfma is a little bit lower threshold test, movement patterns, so they're a little bit easier to perform, which is fine because we know the person's in pain. But once we're ready to release them from rehab or return to play, we need to challenge them to a higher level. We may need to do a Y balance test or some other testing. May need to put them back into our model, which is an FMS, to see what needs to happen next. So we have some other tests like the Y balance or motor control screen that we utilize in this system. So again, protect. Once we figured out that the person moves well, then let's challenge them a little bit higher. If there's pain, let's figure out what's causing that pain. The medical professionals, let's refer to them if we don't have those skills to figure out what needs to happen. If they've got some dysfunctions, the level 2 is going to tell us what we need to do, provide the exercise recommendations and strategies to do this. And again, all of these interact and feed off of each other. And that's our last principle, which is we've created a system to help you accomplish the goals we want to accomplish, which is, again, getting the person to move well and move often.
For more information on our seminars, visit functionalmovement.com.